Well, welcome back to Factorio Hyperbase. I am in the main base up by my personal train here, and I think what we want to do, well actually last time we were looking at solar briefly, weren't we? So it started the next row, all automatic. It's waiting on some more solar panels to be delivered to carry on. All the rest of the conditions are met. I am going to need to start dealing with the wood, make something probably that comes out over here. This one here is actually for burning wood, but it's not automated the process of delivering to there and getting rid of it, so we'll have to sort that out. Meanwhile, we've started building our exploitation of the iron, and I need a radar down there, obviously. Do I have radars on me? I do, good. And what I want to do actually is probably excuse me, extend out some extend out the line here so that we can actually connect to it via our train, say. I don't actually want to connect as such. This one can kind of be independent, but I want the ability to get to it fairly quickly. As soon as I find this will do. What I basically want is a line heading down and able to come back up. Do I really only have two of those? That's a perfect example of when I wanted something else. Oops, so I'm actually going to back up to there and go back to main base so that I can grab some more chain signals. I should really try and divest myself of most of this belt stuff. Is that good enough to get the bots? No. I actually have to be in their zone. Thanks guys. Now let's do that again. Head to stone, because I haven't made a train station there yet. So I guess the idea of having this massive ore utilization is that we need less. Obviously we're going to need less trains, but with a bit of luck we need less of these actual ore patches as well. We just need to make them more. Whoops. Hopefully I can get back there before another train comes and wipes me out. Looks like we're in luck this time. Now, let's finish signaling this off in a decent manner. Looks like we can't get one on there. That's not unusual. So that will kind of have to do. There we go. How does this look? Looks pretty good. Do not want that. No thank you. Out you go. We did all of that for what purpose? Oh, we needed coal for one thing. I want to see, I'm not actually, so I've put the train station here. I might need it where the front locomotive is. I'm not actually sure how this works, and I haven't got any batteries because I totally forgot about the whole purpose of going there. So yes, I have got grenades. That was the purpose of going back to base. I'm not sure where we're trying to get to. Do I want to go around a corner and sort of point down with my smelter stacks? Do I want to just come straight out here with a double smelter stack? I mean, this is going to be quite a long thing when it extends out here. Not really sure. Possibly I just want to start smelting as quickly as possible and then see what that requires from us. Let's start off with this. And oh, I need to fire up the train as well, don't I? Yeah. Do you know what? Is that mod setting option? Mod settings, auto deconstruct. Maybe if we don't mark the chests for deconstruction. It'll save me a lot of heartache. Right. Now, that's just an iron chest. These are steel chests. Okay. You can take all of these, those. Something like that. I'm going to come back with a bit of fuel for this train. Whoops, let's make this into a train station. You can be called hashtag B-iron, hashtag B-iron1. Not dollars, hashtag. Here we go. So, back to main base, and here we'll add hashtag B-iron1, circuit condition, there you go. So yes, fuel. I guess I will just take whatever fuel the solar train has. put here. I might just take some of this wood just to get rid of it. As in, take all of it. Coal's fine. We'll feed our new super train on wood. Take me to hashtag #BIron1. Just to basically work out where it needs to go. Oh, that needs some more signals up there. That's fine. Now another thing that I've realised I need to do is actually, if you notice just how shredded some of these products are getting, I actually thought that iron was in that state as well. I'm thinking that is it up there? By the time you get to the end here, yeah, we're running out of iron before we get to the end. So if for no other reason than that, the iron that feeds the green circuits, this one here, needs to be upgraded to steel furnaces and red belt. But before we're ready to do that, we've got 16 trains. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We've barely got a stack per wagon, actually. That's what we've got. So this probably won't get the train very far. But it's better than nothing. It certainly won't be particularly useful in terms of an acceleration test. If I was to tell this train to go to Big Iron 1 until inventory full, let's see what happens. It stops, goes forward slightly and stops. Is that because it can't move any further, or that's correctly where it is? Okay, that's good. I like that it did that. Now we should just be able to go to manual and push forwards. Where's my smoke coming off these trains? Didn't realise I'd turned that off. Maybe I have. So yeah, that's interesting. The train still goes around the corner. That's kind of insane, but that's what happens. I need the rail that I've completely forgotten to restock. Let's do that. Simple swap. And if I jump in the front here, can I tell the train to... No, I cannot tell it anything. Can I come back here? No, and I also am missing... I'm also missing that radar that I wanted, which is probably one of 2 radars that I probably really want, because this won't cover the whole thing. One at this end, one at the other end. Right, we're going to have to manually run ahead and plant the rails, since we can't do it from this train, either that or plant a new train. Let me just extend this out a reasonable bit. Bots, you are needed. How does that look in terms of distance? probably need to go a bit further. Let's try that. We will get to the next part of this whole train mechanism, but we are actually building it as we go along, so there you go. This is actually moving pretty quickly, and remember we're on wood, so that's not bad. Okay, yes, that has moved us off a fair distance. Alright, if we were to say where we are now should actually be the where the smelter stacks are, just for argument's sake. Oops, that one should go down there. The good thing about this wood is that we have a lot of thirsty trains that we can just add a little bit of fuel to. So it's fine for trains to take, you know, like forever to unload here. I don't know for sure whether I just want to push ahead like this. I guess we haven't really come very far. I want it to kind of be handy. So something like that. This can be B-iron 1. Smelt. Yes, get rid of all that bots, that's fine. I gave you those instructions. I'm quite happy for you to do that. Now go to B-iron 1 smelt until circuit condition for now. Where did we get up to? This one. That's it. Come on, bots. So this is kind of in the way a little bit. Or I guess there's an unload into passive supply chests. It needs to be on the same side as this guy. Do I need 3? I don't actually know if we're going to need 3 or whether 2 is the right number. And these guys. Again, if we have 3, that's going to make these placement of these slightly more difficult. Do I do it 2 on each side? Or do I even space them out a bit more? I'm not sure. something like that. Which then means that beacons, those lovely, lovely things that accelerate your production, go somewhere there. These things what I'm looking for is a... Oh, that's right, we also need the unload. So we need the train tracks for the trains that are coming to pick up goods. And they'll have requesters. Then do I have a row of these things? I suppose in a way I kinda have to because of that. Well, I don't have to, but... And I probably don't need one bang, 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 bang. Probably doesn't need quite as many as that. This is why I'm going to need a supply train in the very near future. It's at the end of the train. It is good. It's actually not in the right spot. This train stop is not in the right spot. I don't even know what I want this line to do, other than one, two, three, four. Yeah, that's probably just about right. So that would actually give me 8 trains to this point. So the idea is there's an 820 that will pick up iron from here. And there's another 820 station. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is it there or there? I think it's there. So there's 2 820 stations for picking up the iron. And then we want a pattern of smelting. We need basically 4, and they need to be offset 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, we can actually have it right up next to the smelter. My madness here will all make sense in just a moment, guys. So I'm leaving a gap between them because what we can do then is we can have a supply chest on one side and a requester chest on the other. Now I need modules big time. stack inserters. So basically there's a flow from request to supply. We'll then reverse it to the next. That will have the request on this side. And that should be tileable, but I'm not going to tile it until I have all the beacons in it. And the other thing is power. What sort of power can I fit in here? I don't need these spots, so I can actually fit what I would consider the ideal power, which is substations. Substations are the ideal power because they take the least number of you get the most bang for your buck with substations. It's interesting. So I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to kind of have two on each side or what I'm going to do with this. But will it make this pattern if I just run along? Oh, good. From this point we'll need to use the long poles. And now we are out. So what I'm looking for is a bunch of modules. Let's make this short journey back. And this whole thing is starting to take shape. I can see I'm not going to be able to cope with this lack of supply train for very long, though. So modules and probably some more of the passive. These guys probably, well, I guess we'll have just to put up with 50, won't we? Now let's go through to module production, see what we've actually got. It's not bad. What have we got in here? That's not bad either. Guess I can probably have another one of those, or am I missing something else that I needed? No, probably not. Alright. How's the solar train? It's getting very close. Alright. Let's head back to hashtag BIron1 for Big Iron 1. Now the idea with what I'm trying to do here is to halve the number of requester chests that we might otherwise use, and supply chests, so the number of paths that the bots have to determine is reduced. The other thing we will try to do, I guess, is see if we can line up the actual pathing that the bots will do. Maybe I should get some concrete, but I don't know how much of that I have. I really, really, really need a supply train here fairly badly, and I should have got more of these substations while I did that, but I was a dummy and I didn't do that, so never mind. Here is our situation. No, we don't actually want to put 50 of those into there, thank you. So that's the kind of setup that I guess we're after. I guess for now we put those there, do we? I'm not actually sure, so I won't even include them in the blueprint. Oh, they're offset slightly, top and bottom. Is that going to cause me? Yes, it is going to cause me dramas. I need them to be equal. Now, does that line up? And how many sources do you have? 14, which should be 12. 1, 2, 3, 4. These two, 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 lots of 4 plus the 2 there, 14, and you're 14 as well. It's not got power, which is why it's pretending the crafting speed is only 1.4. And let's copy that. So it'll be interesting to see just how many of these we can do. I am fairly sure. Oh, here we go. Yeah, that kind of goes one too many. So in actual fact, we will get rid of this last one. I need an extra of those guys. So that is one length. We are going to need to extend this a bit. It does look like it's quite a flight from over here. So I don't like the way we're doing this at the moment. These guys are going to have to come out to the side. Yeah. Well, are we even going to need the row there? Maybe not. Maybe they should in fact be a whole lot closer. Yeah. Although I have just put power up here to fit it in. I might be trying to squeeze too much. Or maybe not. So I mean, if that was there, for example, what's this? Don't need that anymore. I don't know at the moment if 2 is enough. Where are you going? Oh, no, don't do that. Okay, bots, take a holiday. So we could do something like this. That could be in there. But that would only let us have 2. Or... and the reason I don't like putting these on the outer side is because then it's an even further trip for these ones to get to, say, the supply chests. So the inside is probably the shortest path. How many of these things do we actually have along here? 23. 23, so that would be times 4. 23 times 4, so that would be 92 in the stack. 92 times... Actually, one other thing that I want to check is if this is in, does it cover all of this area? It probably does. So, you're the whole thing. Good. Let me just put the bots back in and rip all of this out. With smelting, you're not going to need as many bots as with other things, because the basic, you start off with a 3.5 second crafting time, which gets sped up quite a lot, 13.4 times by what we have here. So that would be where this goes. Now these are powering that, and when we do like the mirror up here, or like the twisted round up there, so we're not going to need these guys, which would give us room for... oh, there's no room for that guy apparently. Really? Oh, okay, fine, look. You guys just go in there. So we can at least get 3 boxes of each type, which is probably the sort of thing that we want. And that means that these all along here are probably not where we want them anymore. Sorry, this is taking so long, but it is. It's taking how long it needs to. That would mean this is where these guys are. Hopefully the range from there is sufficient to get another row. There it is. Yes, but definitely not a third row, but in a way that's good because a third row would be this kind of distance again. It's further than if they were there, but just having one might be an advantage. So then we want to take this and flip it round twice. One, two, and these ones, it'd be nice if we could actually see what their coverage is, but it would probably be to there, which will be fine, so all of this is covered. So now the only problem is this one only has room for two, so we might end up with only half as many of these as I would like. 92, alright, so we know that it's 13.4 times, and we know that divided by 3.5 to give you an amount per second. Which will be times 2.2. So we're basically trying to move 774.9 per second, but they take for each. Is that right? Is that what the capacity bonus is? I think that's right. Cargo capacity 4, so that's like 200 bots. If it's more than a second, 400, 600 bots even, which would mean we'd need about 12 of these. If we can have, we've got 20 along, if we can have one every, or say one at both ends and one every two in between, we would probably have enough, so we could probably reduce this a little bit. So can we fit one here? No, but I mean, I can squeeze these guys around as well. If I wanted at least 3 per, it'd be something like that, and then and we're getting at least 1, 2 per 3. We may not even need 3. That pattern seems to be fine, actually. So if we do a quick count on the number of robo ports here, we've easily got the 12 or so that the sort of rough count would suggest that we need. So yeah, that probably actually works for a smelting stack, an iron smelting stack, a copper smelting stack. So the idea would be to come back with enough material to completely fill this one out, and the second one that we have over here. And then what happens with the rail, is we need a whole bunch more rail, basically. The rail is, this one is basically going to bend round as quickly as possible back on itself up here. This one will take off to the next process on the chain. But yeah, this one will come back here. How are we doing for time? Not too badly. If only I had a supply chain, a train. I think I will get rid of all this stuff that doesn't appear to be particularly useful right at this second. So we need a bunch of rail and other things as well. We need a supply train, good grief, that's what we need. And if I want a proper supply train, I need a proper make everything factory. I need all the things. I'd like to try and finish up this smelting. Once we have one, it'll be a lot easier to just slap down the pattern to work out how others are supposed to fit together. It's certainly going to be my claim anyway. No, don't give me this stuff. If I want it, I'll get it. Have you been and come back? Oh, you must have. Which means we must have built... We have. Look at this. This just happens. I do nothing and it just happens. I've got to say I'm really liking it. The whole clearing and dragging a pattern over and having to come back and fill it in again and all the rest of it that I had to do in the last factory was actually rather annoying. This is so much better. Now, rail. We need to start trying to use up all of this, which is going to take a while. Let's take 1,000, maybe even 1,500 rail. The rest needed to be... how many beacons have we got? We've got a lot of beacons. Not anymore. Electric furnaces. That should be plenty. I need substations. I'm going to let this make more than that number of substations. If I'm going to be incorporating them into a major design like this, we can make more. Oh, we have our full 9. And we have concrete. Concrete could end up saving me a bit of time. Go to hashtag BIron1. So what am I trying to do with this initial iron? Okay, I am actually going to aim to create the rocket control units as one of the rocket parts for our silo, and we're going to head towards making the silo for, I guess, 8k per minute vanilla science, which is a huge step up from 6, actually. It may not seem like it is, but it is. Now, I want a can you stop, dude? Thanks. Damn trees. Okay, well, oh, we've got to get rid of these substations. I must have thrown away that guy. At least this accelerates our pace quite a lot. Not that one. Need to keep that one. Right, that should be fine. Hang on, what about modules? Have I already used all my modules? Gee, I must have. Right, well, let's lay down everything bar the modules. Starting with, let's supply some power. Now, the point of coming here is so that this and turn it around. Not that the advantage of turning it around is that strong, but there we go, nonetheless. So now I guess I want to take all of these guys out so that we can put the power through the middle part. And basically, well, we will end up duplicating this thing, but something like that. And let's get a blueprint of the middle part. Actually, no, I can't include that. Something like that, I think, is what we were after. Yes. So, what that does for me is it delineates where I have to go with this concrete. Like so. So obviously I don't have enough concrete, but that's okay. Now, that means the earliest I can come in to back to base here would be coming in at kind of this height. And we actually need to be here, which is basically that. So one very simple little self-contained loop. Okay, let's get straight to about there. And that would be what this train has to do, and then we just have to see how many trains we actually need on here to service this line effectively, because we can go from here to iron 1 like so. Those bots will catch up, don't worry about it. Fill up on iron, and then we'll head on out to the smelter. Like so. Perfect. I might just let these bots catch up. So we're probably pretty close to out of time. Let me use up whatever other resources I have. But yes, this is the basic idea for iron and copper smelting. Okay, so it's just beacons. We are missing sort of 200, and we're missing thousands of modules. So yes, what is the broader plan before I finish this? What I'll probably do is I will go and get the I'll probably make a couple of trips and try and finish this off as it sort of stands. We do have power, good. So that the whole thing can be brought online and show you at the beginning of the next episode. But the broader plan is... Ooh, why do we have a hole down here? Whoops. No idea, I must have accidentally taken that one out. The broader plan is that we're working towards getting the silo up and running, so there's a ton of circuitry that's required. We'll be building that circuitry first of all, and then even before building the silo we'll probably divert a lot of that circuitry into making the modules, the speed and productivity modules that we need to enable these things to be filled out a lot faster. So that's kind of the plan. I guess the fastest way back is actually to tell this to do a circuit. Do a circuit, bud. And yeah, with that, thanks for joining me for this, and I look forward to seeing you for the next episode when we'll be at the next step in this process. Bye bye for now.